There we go. We are live.
Well, who would win in a fight between Quentin Tarantino and Simu Liu? Oh, wait, I think we already know the answer to that question. What are 10 movies that you respect but don't like? Why don't the webs come out of his butt? As a robot, how does C-3PO forget to turn off the comm link? That Reese's Santa doesn't look like a Santa. It looks like a... Well, we'll address this and more coming up on this episode of Geekshow.
Geekshow!
GeekshowPodcast.com.
She's saying that because she's full of waffles. She's Rebecca Frost.
I'm full of waffles. Okay, guys, here's what you're going to do if you're going to Starbucks. If you're still going to Starbucks, you're going to order a steamed apple juice, and you're going to order it with 4 pumps of chai. And then you're going to have a bit of a panic when the barista takes a little bit too long to reply because they're busy finding all that stuff in the computer. And you're like, oh, no, is this not like a real drink? But it is, and it's delicious, and you're going to want it every winter. You gross Rebecca on Twitter.
Thank you for that recipe. We'll be sending out leaflets with that recipe on it and dropping them from an airplane.
We'll be doing them like those old show flyers, stapling them up on telephone poles.
On telephone poles. Here's your recipe for the apple cider chai thing that Rebecca
Jim Jones in the chat. I know it is extremely sad to hear it's pumps of chai and not like actual chai tea, but we're at Starbucks and this is what we're working with.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not like they have an authentic chaiwala sitting in the back room pumping.
He is an authentic chaiwala. He is Lee.
Oh, I've had my hand smacked by an authentic chaiwala. Let me tell you what. Don't use your unclean hand to help with the chaiwala. I'm just telling you that.
Who was the chaiwala at Bees and Brews when you worked there?
No, it's when I went. It's when I went to the Neem Karoli Baba ashram in Taos, New Mexico, and they had an authentic 90-year-old Indian chaiwala. And they said, go help the chaiwala. And I said, okay. And then I went in to help. And I started to work with my left hand. And she was like, smacked my hand and said, that's the unclean hand. And so I left because I didn't want to get yelled at by a 90-year-old woman. So, but I'll tell you, so you got your holiday shopping coming up. I'll tell you 3 quick things to make your life better. If you want local handmade stuff, you'll want to check out Caffeinated Otter and Evil Hand Shop on Etsy. I guarantee, since they both live in my house, they both make great products. And if you're looking for wargaming and tabletop supplies, check out my friend Shiv Games on eBay. They ship free everywhere in the continental United States, and they got your Games Workshop plastic crack on stock, ready for you to go. That's me.
Oh, thank you, Lee George Cade. Jay Whitaker, everybody. Hi, Jay.
What's up, y'all? What's going down? It's the chai pumper with the step back jumper. Take you out your mom's romper, and then we go rumba. Feel me? What's up? How we doing?
That was delightful. I love that.
It was a little freestyle, a little Jerry Lewis. I mean, it was perfect.
I imagine Carrie at a rap battle now and just being like, that was delightful. I love it.
I judge all the rap battles here in town. They all call me up.
That's good. They should. That kind of rhymed. Anyways, check me out at Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Patriot Place, December 1st to 2nd. I'm headlining a show up there. And then I got some other stuff. Hideout Comedy in Boston, January 13th and 14th. December, New Year's Eve, Norwood Theater. I don't update my website enough, so just hit me up on the socials at It's Jay Whitaker. Thank you so much for everybody. Pumpkin pie is trash. Thanksgiving starts at 2 p.m. Unless your food is whack. And then let's see, sweet potato pie is top tier.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Use those same spices you put on your pumpkin pie, but you put them in the sweet potato pie.
That's fine, but nobody signed up for that on the spreadsheet.
Well,
That's really the problem with the spreadsheet, maybe.
It really is.
You're gonna make people do okay, Rebecca. I respect that I love your logistics, but you're making people read spreadsheets on their day off. Come on.
No, the spreadsheet should be accessed prior to Thanksgiving because that's when you do all the prep. And that's so we make sure that we don't have any overlapping things so I don't wind up with 3 pumpkin pies, 2 turkeys, and a whole shitload of mashed potatoes.
That's true.
3 turtles. Oh, sorry.
Now,
Shannon's having tech problems, but our host is Mr. Kerry Jackson.
Shannon will be here.
He will be here.
He will be here.
He's cursing at his computer as we speak.
Pounding on it.
You know that computer's getting lit up right now.
Let's see. Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com. And now my yearly tip for your Thanksgiving leftovers, and you will thank me for it. It sounds strange, but you will love it. You have all that leftover stuffing, right, Rebecca?
No.
Oh, all the
I made everybody. I made people take as much leftovers as possible. What is this?
Oh, okay. Then this part doesn't apply to you. You get all the stuffing leftovers, and then you heavily coat your waffle maker. All right, in some sort of non-sticky kind of thing, and then you make waffles out of the stuffing. Now, here's the crazy part: maple syrup. Yep. Do it.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing.
Thank me later. All right.
What we do is for leftovers, the next day we make burritos. Like everybody comes back over and we make like breakfast. We didn't have them this year because again, I tell you, this is the most chaotic Thanksgiving I've ever experienced. But
Also, can I give
burritos.
one quick Thanksgiving tip?
Yeah.
Always take a walk before
And after.
Thanksgiving.
You know, it's
And if we're giving waffle iron things, if you've got the Belgian waffle iron,
Yes.
this is something that you will, especially Charles, will know exactly what I'm talking about in chat right now because he's partaking of something that will make this the most amazing thing ever. Take your hash browns. Not your hash browns, but your tater tots, the frozen in the bag. And you just pour them into the waffle iron and smash that down, and then have that with some gravy, and you've just had the best potatoes you will ever have in your life because it makes that waffle crispiness all the way around. Yeah, and like I said, some gravy, your protein of your choice, and and if you're like Charles, you'll have the best morning of your life.
Point of parliamentary procedure.
Yes.
Are these tots thawed or are they frozen?
You know, if you let them thaw a little bit first, they'll actually go down into the grooves better, but you don't
That's
want
what
them
I was
completely thawed. So,
This is erotic.
I love
well,
it.
next week I'll share with you an amazing gravy recipe that you can use with either you can either make it vegetarian or not. It all just depends on what fat you use. So, we'll be back right after this with a message from FHA. Spring chicks are on sale.
And real quickly,
this
don't
month at
buy.
Tractor Supply Co. Buy all your holiday gifts early.
Also, don't buy a novelty waffle maker. I had one that was Bugs Bunny's face, and the Looney Tunes. They're terrible. Don't.
I feel like that would scare me because if it melts, if like it gets warped in any way, shape, or form, then Bugs Bunny's warped, and then it's like it's messing up my childhood even more.
I mean, it looked like it was going to be a fine waffle maker, but it sucked. It was a terrible waffle maker.
Hey, look, Shannon made it.
Oh, he did.
Did you?
Hey.
What up, man?
Yeah,
Egg said-
sorry, I had to switch computers completely. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're all good.
Oh, and now you're using the tin can. It sounds like your mic's a little off. Is what I'm saying.
We'll work it out.
All right, thank you. Let's begin. We got our first look at Indiana Jones 5 this week. Not a trailer, not yet. That's coming. That's very soon. But we did get photos.
Indy in the big city.
Indy in the big city. Yeah, it's apparently it's a he's punching Nazis again. This is all we can show you here. If you want to see all the other photos, go to Empire Magazine, and they have them all. But here's the synopsis of what is happening in Indiana Jones 5. They're going to open up with a flashback sequence. Now, this was shot recently. This is and here's the reason that it's being brought up is that everybody who has seen this, they say they finally got the de-aging technology down to where everyone was convinced that this was shot back in the old days.
Wow.
And that it was young Harrison Ford. Everybody who's seen the footage went, did you have this lying around? Was this in the Lucasfilm vaults? No,
Were they able to
apparently it's that good.
Were they able to fix the voice too? Because that's been one of the things. like old sounding Michael Douglas with young sounding with young looking Michael Douglas was kind of throwing me off in that Avengers movie.
Yeah, I agree. But
Well,
apparently
like-
it's fooling everybody.
Well, but like, how is his movement? Because like with Captain Marvel, with Nick Fury is like trying to hit what's his name? He's like moving like he's 70.
Well, I guess this was all part of the learning process on how to do it right, and they've probably now finally figured it out for just in time for Indy 5. Who needs it more than anyone, really? If you think about it. Anyway, so it starts off that way. The film starts in 1944 in a Nazi-infested castle. This is where we like our Indy.
Yep.
Before jumping ahead to the film's main time frame of 1969.
Nice.
So that the thank you.
This is
So
the
that
year I was born.
So that's and then the whole plot it still involves Nazis. It involves the moon landing, rockets to the moon, because we took the Nazis in after
The
World War
rocket
II,
scientists are our rocket scientists. Yeah.
and so that's who Mads Mikkelsen is playing. I thought he was playing the son of the guy who got his face melted in the first movie because he was dressed exactly like him. But
He's Operation Paperclip.
But yeah, he's one of the rocket designers.
I was hoping it would be in 1979 and you could team up with Jake and Elwood and fight the Chicago Nazis.
Illinois Nazis.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Nazis
glad.
are timeless, aren't they?
Sadly, they are.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So that'll be June 30th, 2023 for Indiana Jones 5. So that's, yeah, I was dreading it, and now that I'm seeing stuff, I'm looking forward to it. And Phoebe Waller-Bridge is his goddaughter.
Goddaughter. Okay.
Yeah, in it. So
But she's also one of the writers, isn't she?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think I might. I know in Bond she was brought in as a writer because Daniel Craig said the female dialogue was written by men and he didn't like that, so they brought her in to make it more authentic. But
I'll look it up.
maybe she is. That would be cool because she's amazing.
Yeah.
She is. Let us know. Let's see. We got a new director for Blade. This is about a week and a half old.
I'm so excited for this.
Haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. So this is the project's. It's a whole creative overhaul. I mean, you've still got Mahershala Ali attached to star, but this is the whole creative, behind the camera people have changed. So you've got Michael Starbury is writing it. He's Emmy nominated apparently. Jan Demange, who directed the pilot of Lovecraft Country, is going to direct this.
Nice.
Now remember, because he directed the pilot, he set the tone for the entire series.
What a great series he set the tone for.
And it was terrific. So Michael Starbury, who earned an Emmy nom for Ava DuVernay's drama When They See Us, he is going to be writing the script. And this, again, just more and more good news coming for this. I just think this is a great lineup.
I'm all about this. Let's go.
Blade, of course, created by Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan in 1973's Tomb of Dracula #10. I have right over there on the wall.
Yeah, we definitely believe you.
It's true.
I believe him.
We can.
It's right there.
Definitely not off camera.
I'm
or
just upset because
visible in this audio medium.
if there's anything the Underworld movies taught me is that a Wolfman should never write about a Dracula.
That's right.
Yeah.
Demange is a French-born, London-raised director who began in TV before segueing into features. Dramatic thrillers 71, White Boy Rick, and Lovecraft Country. So
Nice.
He is currently developing a series take on Scanners. From David Cronenberg. He's doing that for HBO. He's going to direct and executive produce.
Exploding heads.
Exploding Heads. So that's on your way. All right. This is for the Spooky Time Club.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
We've got a mighty team up here of James Wan and Jason Blum.
I love this for them.
This is a merger of Atomic Monster and Blumhouse. So that means we're going to be able to scale up horror output dramatically with these two teaming up. You're going to get more and more of these horror movies coming your way. One big horror factory. I can't find the name of what this team up will be. I guess it's just Atomic Monster Blumhouse, or if maybe we
To-
don't need a name.
Atomic Blumhouse.
I like it.
Atomic House.
It says we're going to be putting out. He says we don't usually put out more than 3 or 4 theatricals a year. My hope is that with James we could double that to 6 to 8 theatricals.
Ooh, baby.
Is that good or bad, you guys?
I don't care. Here's the thing about. Here's how I describe Blumhouse movies: is they're like pizza. They're gonna satiate everybody. Like they're not gonna be good. Like even bad pizza is still good pizza, right?
Talk
That's
about
what
it.
Well,
Talk
I
hey,
feel
about
about
it.
Blumhouse movies is even if it's bad, like you're still gonna have a pretty good time.
I've had some regrettable pizza.
And that's the name of the series.
I'm not going to name names because I don't want a lawsuit. But there's a very popular chain in Oregon that makes me regret it every time I have it.
Regrettable Pizza Productions.
Yes, it's
I mean, even Totonio's party pizza will do it a pinch.
Totino's pizza rolls in the air fryer
Oh yeah, dude.
yep.
with ranch dressing. All right, sorry, my redneck was showing, wasn't it?
Well, you take two of them. You sandwich them face together, and then you put them in your Belgian waffle maker. And
Put
then
'em in your
I mean,
Belgian waffle
Where's the
maker.
lie?
All right, well, I look forward to more horror movies in my future. So it's either comic book movies or horror movies that we're going to be going to
That's
see.
fine. That's all I need are more Andor, honestly.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Marvel things, and then more horror movies, and I'm set. Oh no, A24. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Am I
Yeah.
limited to 3?
This is America. You can choose however many you want.
I'll take however much I want.
All right. And now our Avatar update. This will end soon because it opens soon. All right. It's. I mean, the box office projections and ticket sales so far for Avatar 2, which opens December 16th, is tracking for 150 mil to 170 mil, and that's domestic. Now, it has the advantage over other movies because it's got the go-ahead to open in China. So that immediately doubles the amount of money that it can make. Because there's nothing controversial in it. It could open in China just
no
fine.
ghosts,
No ghosts,
no criticism of the Communist Party.
no
Yeah.
LGBTQ, no nothing. So,
Yeah.
but then James Cameron comes out, and I was so surprised that he's just, I guess he feels like he's James Cameron. He can just say things.
Yeah.
He
Like a
came
moment
out-
of silence for the Titanic at the Oscars. Yeah.
Here's what he said. All right, let's see. He was talking to his corporate overlords at Disney. He said, calling his own sequel "The Way of the Water," the worst business case in movie history. Cameron
And you're gonna
said,
make it, and you're gonna like it.
Cameron said the long in development and possibly long anticipated question mark. I love the way
Possibly.
I love the way IO9 wrote that. Avatar sequel. No, now you got to remember, Disney bought this problem from Fox. This is not.
Yep.
Anyway, Avatar sequel, he said, needs to be the 3rd or 4th highest grossing film in history. That's your threshold. That's your break even.
That's your break even. I read that and I'm just like, good luck, bud.
Wow.
So that means Way of the Water has to earn somewhere between The Force Awakens, $207 billion, and Cameron's own Titanic, which currently sits at $2.2 billion.
Well, good luck.
Yeah,
I mean,
good luck to you,
with-
Bob.
This is the only way we see that True Lies sequel that we're all desperately hoping for.
Oh god.
I don't often make predictions, but I'll make one now. We're not going to get all 5. We'll get 3.
You think we'll get 3?
I think we'll get 3. Yeah.
Like, is it terrible? Like, I'm just rooting for this to just bomb.
Fail.
I just want it just to
I
eat
don't
I
shit.
don't think it'll bomb.
I don't
think
want
it'll
it to
be fine,
fail
yeah.
because I know there's a lot of really talented people working on this, and it would be awesome if they
I don't give a shit. They got paid. They already got paid.
Well,
He's
and
got
I
a
know a lot of
point.
and I know a lot of people who love these movies. I want them to enjoy them and have as much of them as they possibly can.
I just thought people like James Cameron to just get fucking stabbed a little bit.
Jesus.
Lee, I've got a question that's perfect for this audio medium. Are you working on Windows 95?
Me?
Yeah. Your
No.
taskbar looks like it's Windows 95.
What is my this my taskbar down here? Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm on Windows 95 now. I don't. I thought I was on Windows. They're messing with me because I won't upgrade to 11.
Bro,
got-
this is funny.
he's
because
got
we're
his
just
retro
clowning on each
filter
other's
on.
taskbars now.
Yeah. So sorry. Will you put on the spreadsheet, Rebecca Lee, to upgrade to Windows 11, please?
Lee, if you could just upgrade.
She's like, oh, nice taskbar.
Windows
I
11
see you
doesn't.
rocking that gray taskbar.
Well, I would put it in my little paperclip assistant and ask him to do it, but I can't ICQ him correctly. So
Oh, Clippy?
He's
Didn't he
Operation
die?
Clip.
Yeah.
Clippy,
I think
he died.
Yeah, they
killed
took him
him.
out into a field and said, "Look at the flowers." And
Yeah,
Baby
they
Peanut.
said-
The
We
baby
really
Mr.
did it,
Peanut
Bright
Peanut.
Eyes. We really did it. Bam!
They sent him to
Yeah.
the big office space in the sky.
So the reason why I'm still rocking 10 is because 11 does not play well with half of the video games that I play or my video editing software.
Oh
So
yeah, you ain't need Windows 11.
yeah.
all right. So again, Quentin Tarantino opened his mouth.
God.
Oh, yeah. That
I used to really like him.
He keeps opening it, hoping that someone will put a foot in it.
Here's the thing. Thank you.
that was actually really funny.
That was very.
It's very funny.
I love it when I get a that was actually really funny.
No,
He's like, Uma.
Well, at first the comment made me laugh, but then you're put up.
yeah.
Here's the thing.
Like no notes.
I love Quentin's movies. I do. They're some of my favorite. But I've started to really hate him as a person.
Yeah, that's me too, Carrie.
Because I've started listening to his podcast, and I had to stop after 4 episodes. He's so insufferable. Anyway,
I've not liked the guy since he hosted SNL on a running punchline for him. And this is like mid to late 90s.
I don't remember this. Wow.
He kept bragging about who he's had sex with. And I'm like, are you that fucking insecure that you can't
Yes.
let your work speak for you and you've got to just be this insufferable jerk that's bragging about who you've slept with because you're a director?
Yeah, well,
So-
because I mean, he worked at a Blockbuster for most of
Oh,
his life.
sure. I
And
get
then
that.
and then he got lucky,
Yeah.
you know?
But you've got other guys that have a similar I used to be broke, I used to be nobody, like Jack Black. You don't see Jack Black walking around screaming about who he's had sex with, as he's just like
I wish he would.
I worked at Blockbuster, and I got a new taskbar. What's up?
I guess
Oh, wow.
if you're winning this hard in 2022, I can't wait to see how 2023 is
I
going to look.
I worked at a movie theater and I've got a computer put together of refurbished parts. What's up?
Shannon and I worked in a morgue.
Yeah, we did.
Really?
Set
Yeah.
the match right
Well,
there.
no, we worked at a hospital, but we took people to the morgue.
Yeah. Shannon and I have teamed up on carrying more corpses than most people have.
You know what? I've never really thought of it that way.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's true.
Wait,
I
you guys
guarantee
used to
we
work at a
moved more
morgue
corpses
together?
than most of you guys.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I guarantee you, Shannon and I have team carried more corpses than the three of you put together.
And this is where I see the argument. You win.
You can win this. I was gonna say you can win this competition.
I think you were
And-
there when that one went. And steamed up the
The inside of the bag.
the inside of the bag, and I ran.
Yeah, it was an amazing day. Yeah. Okay. Enough about that.
And then I was like, "No more! I can't do that anymore."
You guys should have been a tag team in wrestling. Y'all would have.
Well,
been
and we would have been
champions.
we would have ended up really, really wealthy if Rats hadn't have kept stealing everybody that we went to dig up later.
Jesus.
So Quentin Tarantino.
So anyway, Quentin Tarantino.
All of these things turn him on.
Oh, yeah. Here's what he talked a couple of weeks ago about not liking Marvel movies, and then he got interviewed again, and they asked him again, and here's what he said. The only reason I'm telling you about this is because I love the reply from Shang-Chi, Simu Liu. All right, he says Marvel movies. I don't love them. No, I don't. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. I mean, look, I used to collect the comics like crazy when I was a kid. There's an aspect.
Here we go.
If these movies, they were coming out, it was in my 20s, I would totally be fucking happy and totally love them. But they wouldn't be the only movies being made. They would be those movies amongst other movies. I'm almost 60 and I'm not quite as excited about them.
You have to stop this impersonation.
Sorry. Anyway,
It's far too
good.
hot.
It's
Yeah.
too good and it's so
Yeah.
far too aggravating.
I just kind of want to hit you right now. So
It's making my toes curl.
so
and he likes
basically-
that. Don't do it.
All right. So what he is saying is that these are the only movies being made,
Which is
which is not true.
ridiculous. I mean, the sheer amount of like, okay.
did you not see
maybe it's-
Bullet Train?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, maybe in theatrical release, yeah, they're omnipresent, right?
Well,
But
yeah.
just look at the sheer amount of amazing content that we have online and stuff like that. Like, I don't know.
And I would remind Quentin that the people who love these more than us fans is the theater owners. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's keeping the doors open. All
right.
right.
Like
The-
when I went and saw Wakanda Forever, right? I bought my plastic, my two stupid souvenir things, right? I spent $30 on popcorn and drinks just to get a toy on the top of a drink.
All right.
The,
You know what I mean?
The Marvel
spent
Marvel
30
movies. Sorry, Rebecca, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I spent $30 at the movie theater yesterday, and I spilled my entire bag of popcorn as I sat down.
Oh,
Well,
honey.
I
You
just
had a terrible holiday weekend.
Truly cursed.
I think these Marvel movies are why we can see movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once in a theater where
Speak
it
on it.
needs
Yeah.
to be seen.
All right. So now again, you'll have to sit through this so that we can get to
Oh
the
God damn it!
Part of the marvelization of Hollywood is that you have all these actors who have become famous playing these characters, but they're not movie stars. Captain America is the star. Thor is the star. I'm not the first person to say that. I think it's been said a zillion times, but it's these franchise characters become the star. Back in 2005, if an actor stars in a movie that does as good as the Marvel movies do, then that guy's an absolute star. People
Oh,
dig
that's
him
such
or
horseshit.
her, and they like them. Sandra Bullock is in Speed, and everyone thought she was an amazing in it. Everyone fell in love with her. They were excited by Sandra Bullock and wanted to see her in something else, and that's not the case now. What we want to see is that guy keep playing Wolverine or whatever. That's what he's saying.
Because Robert Downey Jr. is not a movie star.
Yeah,
And,
and I'm
yeah.
sorry, like,
And Chris Hemsworth's in everything, you know.
well, and also, yeah, and Chris Evans is
amazing.
amazing as Captain
Yeah.
America. You
And
know what I
he's
mean?
And he's now doing producing in small movies and things.
He
like that.
directed a
Right,
movie a couple
exactly.
years ago. He's awesome.
And that's another thing is, hey, Quentin, once they're done with their run in this stuff, they can do whatever they want.
Exactly.
You know
And
what I
this-
mean?
This is coming from the guy who had to, hedge his bets with Barbarino from Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah. So Simu Liu shot back. He said, if the only gatekeepers to movie stardom came from Tarantino and Scorsese, I never would have had the opportunity to lead a $400 million plus movie.
And mic drop.
Yep. I'm in awe of their filmmaking genius. They are transcendent auteurs, but they don't get to point their nose at me anymore. No movie studio is or ever will be perfect, but I'm proud to work with one that has made sustained efforts to improve diversity on screen by creating heroes that empower and inspire people of all communities everywhere. I loved the Golden Age too, but it was white as hell.
Yeah. I mean, have you? Am I still the only person that's seen Wakanda Forever?
I've
saw it.
seen it.
Oh,
saw
you've
it.
seen it, but like, just there's like two Caucasian people in that movie.
And they're like forced in too.
Yeah, they're like shoehorned in there, and and it's such a great movie, and I'm just like, yeah, I just don't I guess I do understand the hate because it's jealousy. That's what it is.
It
It's
kinda
straight up
is.
jealousy, and they've never asked Tarantino to make a Disney movie because they don't like the N-word in their movies.
Well, and again, I just remind Quentin, you had the idea for a Star Trek movie. All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So don't give me any of this shit.
I'm going to say the same thing I said about Scorsese. I anticipate within 6 months he's going to have a project in development because he's trying to get in the news right now. So he's going to say something that's going to get him some press time,
Yeah.
and then it's not Quentin Tarantino who in 5 months when he announces whatever it is he's working on.
But Quentin, are you trying to tell me that if you were to call up a movie studio and say, "Hi, it's Quentin Tarantino. I'd like to make a movie," that they would say, "No, we're not interested"? Of course not. You can make any movie you want, and why don't you do that?
Yep.
All right. Okay, before we go on, we have a list, because I know people love lists. But before we go
love
on,
lists.
I'm sorry to throw you this curve, Lee, but we need to talk about our movie Saturday Matinee. There it is. It's a Christmas movie.
It really is.
It is a Christmas movie.
I watch it every year.
On the 10th of December at Broovies in Salt Lake City, Gremlins, which features the weirdest Why I Hate Christmas story.
So good.
From
That
Phoebe-
is such
Phoebe
a great
Cates, I think,
monologue.
right?
Phoebe Cates' monologue is
Oscar worthy.
This is another movie I also have not seen.
You have not seen Gremlins. Oh, Rebecca,
Well,
this is
it
exciting.
came out like 5 years before she was born.
Well, that's
It's-
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to. Yeah, this one came out before I was born, and I saw Gremlins 2.
The new batch?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it in reverse, and I loved it. I loved every. Gremlins is awesome. I love it.
Somebody asked why we're doing Gremlins as our Christmas movie and not Die Hard, and I like to throw out the controversial take that Die Hard is actually a New Year's Eve movie because you set the movie from when Hans Gruber falls off the tower, and then that's when you ring in the New Year.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually really it's a Kwanzaa movie. That's what it is.
So
It
we'll be
goes from
showing
Christmas to New Year's.
We'll be showing Gremlins on the 10th of December at Broovies in Salt Lake. Doors will open at 11:30. The pod starts at noon, and then as soon as we're done, we'll show you a Christmas movie, Gremlins.
You know what? I'd like to ask Bruce Willis what he thinks about this controversy, but he couldn't tell me.
He couldn't tell you. He could blink. Let's.
Guys.
What's going on?
Jeez.
What's going on with Bruce Willis?
Oh, you,
He
Yeah,
has
he's-
quit acting because he has.
He has aphasia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, I'm
sad.
gonna have to go back and watch the second G.I. Joe movie and feel bad.
I liked that second G.I. Joe.
I had a good time with it. It was really dumb, but it was fun. Actually, no, he's in literally my favorite science fiction movie of all time. So I'm gonna have to watch Fifth
Hudson
Element.
Hawk.
And Fifth Element is just an amazing movie, and I love it.
But anyway, Gremlins, doors at 11:30. We'll start recording the pod at noon. The admission is pay what you want at the door. All right? Okay. Here's a list, because people love lists. And I found this online. And it's one of those that... It's one of those everybody has an opinion about type lists.
No, device.
So these are 10 movies that people respect but don't like. Because you can do both.
I actually like half the movies on this list.
You can respect a movie and not like it. Here's the thing: I like most of them on this list, but anyway.
I can think of quite a few movies like I respect Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's not on this list, but a good example. All right. So we'll start with the bottom of the list, Birdman from 2014.
That's an amazing movie.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So here's what some of the comments are. A one-shot novelty, claiming that people just kind of forget that it's a well-acted movie that is about nothing.
It's a stage play. What are you talking about?
It's an indisputable critical darling, but there's not much about the movie that casual audiences continue to enjoy. These are just some of the comments that you find.
Sound like a bunch of hating asses.
Yeah. But it's Michael Keaton, Emma Stone. It won quite a few awards.
Ed Norton is so much fun in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's such an ass. He's playing Ed Norton, basically. So
Basically. Okay, here's the next one on the list. And this one, this Forrest Gump.
yeah,
Word.
I respect it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I respect it. Yes, exactly. This is Forrest Gump is a very well-made film, but adds on his comments, it didn't strike a chord with them specifically. I don't. Okay, that baffles me. The film is extremely long and can be a chore to watch if you don't quickly connect with the characters, which left a poor taste in many viewers' mouths.
This was Zemeckis, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't-
he felt like he was like masturbating in the style of Spielberg.
I mean, I don't hate it as much as these people do, but
Yeah, I was just like, I mean,
I don't hate it, you know.
It really moved CGI forward in a huge way.
It did.
Yeah.
I got a lot. I got a soft spot in this movie for this movie because this was like the first summer that my dad had HBO.
Oh yeah.
No, for real. And so like this movie was just always on. I'd wake up every Saturday and this shit was on like Saturday morning cartoons. So I'd watch Forrest Gump and then I'd go play outside and then that was it.
I only hate one part of this movie.
Oh yeah.
It's Jenny. I think she's one of the most evil characters ever to be in a movie ever.
You. I'll co-sign with you, Shannon. She is an absolute villain. Like if they like shot if the hue of this film was like shot in blue, like in the tone of The Boys, and made it a little bit dark. Oh, this is a saga.
She's just terrible. She just uses his love against him, and then
it's so terrible.
And then shows up and dumps a kid on him, and then dies from the AIDS.
Jenny's the worst. Jenny is the absolute worst.
Yep. All right. Next on the list, Grand Budapest Hotel.
Sorry, I love this movie with every passion I have. I love this movie so much.
I respect it, but I couldn't finish it.
I love it so much. It's the most ridiculous movie in the world.
You're the reason that I said I should watch this. Lee loves it, and then I started watching it. And I went, yeah, Lee loves this.
This movie
hey,
is
you're like this checks off all the boxes.
Yeah. This is a Marx Brothers movie played straight, and it's perfect.
Let's see. Comments. Was watching it with a group of friends who were losing their minds over Anderson's talent, and whilst they didn't hate the film, they simply couldn't connect with it. Emotionally shallow storytelling.
Why are you trying to connect with a film? Get a dating app.
Here's the next one. And I understand this one. It's a movie I love, but I understand it. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
I still have never seen it.
So the
and you're fine.
I would just go see this after every. I was in plays in high school, and we would go on the last night of any show we did, and we were always half drunk, and I was trying to make out with somebody. Mm-hmm. So
this is a movie that's more about the experience of seeing it than it is about the actual movie. Yeah, go to see it at the
Blue Mouse.
Like watching this movie sober with your friends at your house on a Saturday night, but midnight at the Blue Mouse on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
back in the late '80s. Yeah,
everybody throwing toast and hot dogs and stuff.
You get the cosplayers up there doing the scenes. That was an experience. Yeah.
The Salt Lake Film Society just did several different types where they had one with the full performances, and then there was one that was like half and half, and then there was one that was just you could sing along. You know, singing along was encouraged.
I'd like to go and do like the whole like participatory thing one more time.
Whatever you do.
So I gotta get there in the next year.
If you love this movie more than anything, there is a sequel called Shock Treatment that is absolutely terrible. Please do yourself a favor.
Do not ever watch it.
Do not watch Shock Treatment.
Ever.
It's got most of the cast.
But they're all like recast.
Yeah.
As you all know, I think musical theater should be illegal, but this I enjoy this. This one I enjoy. I especially love the opening song because it talks about old science fiction movies and watching them in a theater, and
it's got great songs.
It does. All right, here's the next one.
Plus Meatloaf.
And we can just touch on this one and move on because I don't know if any of y'all have seen The Lighthouse.
Oh, excuse me. I love The Lighthouse.
I've seen this.
Okay.
I respect it.
I was there opening night, and because everybody who was there knew exactly what we were getting into, except the one girl who was there with her boyfriend sitting in the row ahead of us, who obviously was not expecting it. And this movie's wild.
It's wild. I could have did without the masturbation, but it is what it is.
So you respect it.
Well, why'd you masturbate to it then?
Willem Dafoe just does it for me.
It's got that fish fussy in it.
All right. Okay, here's one that is very controversial. It's a movie I love, Fight Club.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, see.
I liked it when it was relevant.
Yeah.
I think it's still relevant.
Because the corporations actually already won at this point. In 1999, we could look at it and say, there's a future where we're not run by corporations, and then we just got run by corporations.
Exactly. When you got Pride Week Pride Month
sponsored by Toyota.
T-Mobile. Yeah. It's just like...
American Express.
Yeah, we lost, dog.
like,
lost.
yeah, Tyler Durden right now would just be like, oh, I'd go fight the system right now, but Dancing with the Stars is on tonight, so.
Yo, if Tyler Durden existed right now, this motherfucker would be Alex Jones. That's who we would look at him like he was crazy.
If you're watching it literally, then yes, that's what you're getting. But
Right.
if you substitute the corporations for something else,
Sure.
then it becomes still
I
relevant.
like how he was dismantling the patriarchy from within himself.
See,
Here's
like,
one-
all right.
oh, all right.
The problem is with this movie, like, yes, back then it was great, but now this shit 100% ends up on a school shooter's manifesto. Like,
All right.
It's this and Donnie Darko, right? You see those and you go,
Oh boy.
The next one is on the list, The Tree of Life, which I did not see.
Oh my God. You're lucky.
Terrence Malick. Anyone?
I tried.
nice.
What was the science fiction movie with
Hugh Jackman?
With Hugh Jackman.
Because I'm also trying to remember the name of that movie.
Yeah, because
I
that was
thought
really
that's what it
weird and
was.
esoteric. No, this is something that came out just a few years ago with Sean Astin and Brad Pitt and Jessica Chastain and
I didn't watch
and those
that.
kids climbing that tree.
Yeah, that looked like a turd, so I didn't ever watch
The
it.
Fountain. Bug
The
Hunter
Fountain.
come through in the chat.
Fountain. Yeah.
I like The Fountain, but
Yeah.
most people just respect it.
We'll skip this one then. Then, of course, you knew this would be on the list, Avatar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Respect, but don't enjoy.
Again, ILM did a really good job with the special effects. James Cameron put together 5 other James Cameron movies and said, look, I made a masterpiece. And then ILM delivered with the effects. I respect what ILM did with this movie.
Yeah. I'm
gotta
with
respect
you
it
on
on a
that,
certain
Lee.
level.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And it did inspire what, in my opinion, is one of the best Disney park attractions ever. That flying Avatar ride at Disney World is amazing.
I will say this, one of the first good mech suits in contemporary science fiction.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
Terry,
yeah. When Stephen Lang got in that giant, that thing was awesome.
it makes sense that it would make a great ride because all it is just a giant cutscene from a video game. That's what
do you
this whole
know-
movie is.
Do you know about the birth of the Avatar land? Because Disney wanted Harry Potter, but then J.K. Rowling was like, you have to get a full ass steam train to bring people into the park, and Disney went no. And so then Universal was like, hey, we'll give you a full ass steam train. And
Which
then Harry
honestly
Potter land,
surprised me because of Disney's love for trains. But anyway.
because of Disney's whole love for trains, it's a whole
Yeah.
thing. But so then they were like, I guess we'll make Avatar land. Look at it now.
Ooh. Anyway.
I bet you Disney's looking at J.K. Rowling right now and going, crisis averted.
Yeah.
Exactly. The next 2 on the list are hotly debated. I love them both, but so it's either love or respect. I love and respect both, but 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, that's not on the list.
Oh, didn't I put that on the list?
You didn't. You skipped it.
I put 2001. Go
Carrie,
back and
I
look.
have never made it through that movie.
See, that's
I
what
tried,
I'm talking about.
Every time I give it a try, I'm just like, nah.
I
I
fall
think-
asleep every time. It could be like I could have slept for 13 hours. Get up and
I've watched that movie,
and taken
like-
crystal meth, right? And I'll get about like 45 minutes into that movie and just be like,
Comical.
I love it.
I
So
think it's
either
amazing.
Love it or respect it. All right, and finally, of course, the one that's the most argued about, Citizen Kane.
It shouldn't be on the list.
So,
Shouldn't be
it's-
on the list.
It's the top of the list because this is the one that people argue about the most.
Yeah,
And I
it's-
don't know why myself, but
there's not a single cinematographer out there who will not bring up this movie and say, I don't know how they did this in 1937.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you look
it's
at the shit that he's doing in this movie.
there is a shot, an establishing shot they pulled off somehow in, again, 1930 something, where it starts on the 3rd floor of a building and it's 6 people talking while Charles Foster Kane goes down a spiral staircase to the bottom floor and out onto the street. Right now we say no big deal. How did they do that in 33?
Back then, it was tough.
aliens.
Yeah, and it almost destroyed his career. He pissed off Randolph Hearst so bad by making this movie that he was blacklisted and chased out of the United States for like decades over this movie. It's amazing.
And I've never seen this film, but it inspired one of my most favorite Comic-Con buy of all time. I bought it at Denver Comic-Con. This guy had, and it's hanging in my bathroom over my toilet, and it says, "Rosebud was my dick."
But why?
I don't know. He had it, and I'm like, why? And he goes, I don't know. And I go, I'd like to buy that, please. And he
Yeah.
goes, cool, I've sold 2 of these.
I mean, everything
That's
about
so
this
odd.
everything about this movie to me is just genius, and the acting is amazing. The writing is amazing. There's a
Also-
scene. There's like a
Yeah.
1-minute scene where a guy talks about how the one thing that he can't forget. He's like near death, and he says like the one thing he thinks about every day, the rest of his life, is seeing this woman on a ferry, wearing a dress. And how beautiful she was. And he says, I think about her every day of my life. And it's just such a beautiful 1 minute of dialogue and acting. It's just,
Orson Welles was a mad genius.
Yes.
Well, and he's a guy who really gave into his indulgences later. I mean, not even just with food, but with all kinds of things. Like that dude in the 70s had usually 7 or 8 prostitutes in his house in Southern California. He was living literally off borrowed money and making.
He was living the dream, it sounds like.
But if you want to see something amazing, there is a little scene, much loved by me, movie called Casino Royale that was made in the 60s, where another studio, not the Broccolis, got a hold of and had the film rights to the James Bond Casino Royale movie. So they were like, oh, well, let's make a comedy where there's 25 James Bonds, and let's have Orson Welles play Le Chiffre. So he's like doing magic tricks in the middle of his Baccarat scene, and it's amazing.
Isn't Woody Allen in that?
Yeah, no, he's Jimmy Bond, the least respected James Bond.
Anyway, so there's your list. All right, let's find out what you guys consumed this week. Who wants to go first, or should we just all say Andor together?
My
I
God.
haven't seen Andor yet.
Lee, we know, and it's driving
God.
me nuts.
Exactly.
I need you.
Get a TV in your office, bro.
I need you to watch it, Lee.
Seriously.
At this point, it's become my Princess Bride, Rebecca.
Listen, update
no, but
the
here's
taskbar
the
or see
thing, Andor's
Andor.
actually really good.
So is Princess
Just
Bride.
like when it comes to Andor, one of the greatest rallying speeches of all time.
Here's the thing
Right
about
up there,
Andor.
right up there with that Captain America one that we love.
When you say Andor, when you say the speech, my question is which one?
I'm talking about.
Because there were 3 at least. In there.
Well, but I'm talking about the one from Beyond the Grave,
Okay.
right? And like it is right up there with that Captain America speech.
No
that we
lightsabers,
cite.
only bricks. No lightsabers, only bricks.
What
And-
was that all about, by the way, Rebecca?
I
You're my guide
like
to the internet.
lightsabers.
What was the bricks and screws thing? What was
The
that?
bricks. Well,
Well,
they
that-
explained it. They explained it earlier. It's a funeral. It's part of the funeral
No.
ceremony. They
No, I mean
take the body and
the internet. The Star Wars fans had a problem with bricks and screws.
what?
And that's the thing. So
Boom.
there's that
Never
guy
mind.
CJ
Never
I
mind.
work with that I'm like, dude, you hate authority. And I'm like, you need to watch Andor. He's like, is there lightsabers? I'm like, no, dude. But like, I just love it because it is like the industrial side of Star Wars, which doesn't sound interesting, but it so is. Like
It
it's
is,
the nuts
though.
and bolts.
It's literally
Right.
ruined the rest of Star Wars for me. I got
Maybe
home from
that's
a movie
why I'm not
last
watching
night.
it.
I got home from a movie last night. My husband was watching Rogue One, and I was like, "Oh, okay, and I tuned in for the last half because that's the half that I like. And even the last half, I was like, this is too Star Warsy, even though it's a direct successor to Andor.
Then you would like the first half of Rogue One. Because
I
that's
love
what
Tony and I-
half of
Tony and I
Rogue
gotta
One
rewatch
I
is.
it
love that
anyway.
movie. I love that
Tony
movie.
and I gotta rewatch it.
It's like Andor is. I enjoyed it because it's just it's the meat and potatoes, it's the nuts and bolts, it's how shit actually got done because
Oh.
I can't tell you how many times I would watch this. I'd watch Star Wars and I enjoy the light. I love me some lightsabers, but I'm just like keep thinking, who's funding this?
But also, you know what?
Taxpayers.
This is where the money comes from for the rebellion.
Yes,
and, you know, and it almost makes me want to go watch the prequels again.
I agree with you to an extent.
Because I hated on him so hard because I was like, what's all this stuff about trade federations and
It's
blah blah blah.
politics.
That's why I hated him, right? And now I'm like, well, God, maybe I should go back and watch this again with another eye, because I enjoyed this thing so much, and it's all just it's Law and Order, Star Wars.
It's just space
you know what I
political
mean?
thriller. It's phenomenal.
It's
So-
like watching C-SPAN with lightsabers. It's,
Well, and just you guys,
But there's
and
no
the
lightsabers.
and the performances in this.
Oh yeah.
In this show.
Didn't
No
think I would
wonder-
be so stressed out over Mon Mothma, but here I am.
Yeah. Oh, God. And Mon Mothma, I'm so disappointed in her.
Well,
She's got no choice, man.
We'll
she got,
wait.
yeah, I'm disappointed in her for just being that damn beautiful. My goodness.
But
Seriously,
God,
then
what
you go
a
and see her in
great-
Rogue One, and you're like, what a glow down.
What a great,
She
great,
was on the run
great
at
show.
that point.
you know, I just, I like, and when a droid can make you cry, come on.
So I
I'm
saw
here for
a great
B2, yeah.
I saw a great tweet that from this morning that actually talked about why Andor kind of just hits different, and I think it's just because in this day and age that we're so accustomed to rebellions, and that so I guess the director and a team or just the people on the team were trying to compare like the Rick's Road episode to what is going on in Palestine. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it,
Or just like you
everything
guys-
about it, from the rocks, from the marching, from you know, just
Oh,
like
Well, Tony Gilroy, the guy who wrote and created the
Yeah.
whole thing, he said that he created the Rick's Road piece based on two things, and that was funerals that were for the IRA in Ireland, and also the funerals you see in New Orleans.
yep.
He
yes.
says, I took these two and I combined them and I made them into that.
Yeah.
And also, whoever created that that funeral drone music,
Ooh, the marching band music?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gil-
A plus.
My
Gilroy was
God.
part of that. Yeah.
That shit
my
slaps.
God, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Anyway, all right. We all loved it. All right.
Okay,
Who wants to go first with what they consumed?
I could
Jay.
go super fast.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I've been watching Tulsa King.
Oh yeah, on Paramount.
Yeah, and I will say this: Sylvester Stallone is like my guilty pleasure,
Ooh.
and this is some wonderful trash. Go ahead, like I love it. He bangs some chick in the first episode, and she goes, "How old are you?" He goes, "I'm 75," and she goes, "Oh, yuck."
After she's already banged him?
Yeah,
That's
You know,
on her
because
then. A win
she
is a
was-
win.
she was drunk. She was drunk, and she
Oh,
hooked up
never
with
mind.
him. And Carrie, you and I talked about this briefly over text. I watched Confess Fletch
Yes.
with John
I hear
Hamm.
I hear that's good.
My
It's-
boy Roy Wood Jr.'s in there.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. It was very Fletchy, right? Just self-depreciating, but also very kind of like weirdly complicated, right? There's a real story to it, and he's not Chevy Chase, so I really liked it. But Carrie, I know you love the Fletch movies.
I love the first one. Yeah. And that was back when Chevy was funny.
Right.
And there was a nice little plot in that one too, as you recall. But this one is more twist and turn, and
Well,
knives out kind of.
I hear it's more closely similar to the books.
right, exactly, because it was a series of books. That's like something that people don't know. And My God, is John Hamm not just one of the most charming people on the planet?
He's extremely charming.
He
in this.
was on an episode of Comedy Bang Bang to promote Confess Fletch, and that's where I've actually learned a lot about Confess Fletch was by listening to this episode of Comedy Bang Bang. So recommend that if you like podcasts.
But yeah, watch it. It's
Okay.
and also Carrie, you summed up the Guardians of the Galaxy uh holiday special perfectly. I would just say it was a silly little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was a silly little thing. It was harmless.
It was fine.
It dropped some knowledge. It gave us a few extra little tidbits.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to shoehorn in there.
Yeah, but
The reveal.
they did it. And
The old 97s were throughout the whole thing, and I love them very, very much.
So-
but it's a damn shame that they covered up Rhett Miller with all that makeup.
So, is that the band? That was
That's
the band
band,
that, like,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
They're,
I just
they're
look-
one of my most favorite bands of all time.
But
and
they
was
they
so
made an
pleasantly thrilled.
original song for it, which was a great little Christmas song. I love it.
There's
And
like
you-
two original Christmas songs, aren't there?
and you got more Christmas, good Christmas songs to listen to because of this as well. I enjoyed it.
It was fine.
It's not for everybody.
No, certainly not. I was like sitting there watching it with Egg, and I'm like, this is really stupid, but I like it. Okay.
Who's next? Oh, Jay
Well-
was going to go next, but he left.
I'm quick. I'm super quick. So
All right.
He's like, I watch the inside of my eyelids because I don't have.
Well, I
I
watched
can't
the-
watch the TV.
I watched the Guardians holiday special, and it's light, fluffy, harmless, and largely forgettable. But they did a good thing in cutting down the amount of screen time I had to deal with Star-Lord. So cool.
That's the other thing about the Guardian special is I don't like watching people do nice things for Chris Pratt.
Yeah, but I really, really enjoyed Mantis. Like they got into the manic side of Mantis, and I really enjoyed her performance. I also enjoyed Mantis, and well, I won't get into it because spoilers for people.
Yeah, I love that Dave Bautista is wearing a vest now because he's full on said, I can't work out like that anymore.
Yeah. Also, he has the best holiday sweater in the history of holiday sweaters at the end of that show. I watched
And he has-
Wakanda
and he ha-
Forever.
And he has the best line in the show, which is simply, and it's not spoiling anything, "We hate you." All right.
Yeah. There's a whole bit about actors that I really enjoyed, so that's a lot of fun. We went and saw Wakanda Forever, and be warned if you have a hard time with grief, this is a movie that is literally about grief. So it can be cathartic for some folks, it could be a beating for others. It's a very good movie. There's some decisions made towards the end that I personally disagree with, but I respect them. So and again,
as a victim of grief, it was even enough
Yep.
that I could handle it because I whooped. I was either whooping or crying the whole time.
and again, two white people shoehorned into the story so that white people have something to look at and go, oh, that's I could be that person, but really largely horrifically not needed. And then probably my favorite thing that I've watched on TV in quite a while, and it's going to sound a little weird, but Dan Levy's got a new show on HBO called The Big Brunch. It's a cooking competition show, and I freaking love it. And Sola El-Wali is amazing, and it's just it's bringing people on who have something they want to do with the prize money to either forward their career or do something philanthropic. And we just finished the last episode yesterday, and it's very sweet, and I just adore Dan Levy. So it's good, gentle
Did you
show.
just say you have a friend on there?
I know he's on one of the cooking shows that's on Netflix right now.
It's
You go-
HBO.
HBO.
Yeah. Also, if you want to hear people drop the F-bomb in a cooking show, this is your show because they swear a lot.
All
So
right, good. I mean, I'm definitely in.
All right.
yeah.
Jay?
I know I talked about Drink Masters last week, but we finally finished that again, and really enjoy that show. All right, switching gears to sports. Been watching a lot of World Cup. I've been enjoying it. It's
Oh, you
great.
mean the sporting event built on human suffering? Okay.
Yeah, but most.
I also watched that John Oliver special.
Yeah, Yeah, but so are our iPhones, and it's probably this connection. So everything is based on human suffering. Speaking of human suffering, I went and saw Wakanda Forever, and I enjoyed the movie. That is all I will say. I will offer no opinion. Also, I'm not receiving any opinions or questions in my DMs. Like that's
why
my no.
not?
Hold on, Shannon. But like I will tell you right now, my favorite thing right now. I'll be like everyone's been hitting me up asking if I've seen it. This is the first time I've actually talked about me seeing it. I've been very quiet about it. I offer no opinions. I don't want any opinions. It's just like cool. Like I I'm at the point now where I have to like protect my space on certain things. You just like
Oh,
no, I'm good. I don't need your opinion. Don't want yours.
oh,
You don't need to know why I loved it. You don't need to know why I liked it. You don't need to know anything. I don't want to talk about it. I enjoy
Jay,
it. And I saw
because
it.
I know the pure hell you went through when the first one came out.
Yep. So that's why I'm just like, no, I don't care.
Love it.
People offer me their opinions and I immediately walk away.
All right.
And then I saw, okay, last thing. Last night, my mother-in-law took the whole family to go see Cirque du Soleil. Christmas. Let me tell y'all, this shit was amazing. I had never seen anything Cirque du Soleil in my life, and you have to get the. And I props to Cirque du Soleil because their team, like whoever composes the music and does the choreography, it's current. It's like they've tapped into the TikTok generation while still honoring. There's something for everybody. So go see it if you can. It's wonderful.
All right, Rebecca.
So I watched Andor, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, but I saw 2 movies this week. The first one is Spirited. It's an Apple Plus movie starring
wanna
Will
see
Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. It's a musical based on, the description doesn't even tell you, it just says it's a musical based on a Charles Dickens classic. And first 10 minutes of this movie, my husband and I are like, oh no, did we make a mistake putting this on? Because it felt extremely like Disney Channel original movie, and we're already very iffy on Christmas anyway. So
Right?
we were like, oh, we'll stick around until Ryan Reynolds shows up. And then Ryan Reynolds shows up and blows this movie out of the water. And I did a complete 180 on this movie. Definitely modern musical. So Carrie, you would hate it. But it does a take on A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, but it does it in a very fun way. There's a lot of hills and valleys. There's some twists in here that I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty fun. It does get kind of dark at one point, and then gets back to fun, and then goes back to dark, and then back to fun.
So is it
So
kind of like
that's-
Scrooged?
I never saw Scrooged.
Jesus
Bill Murray?
Christ, Rebecca.
Shannon, it came out the year she was born.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
all right,
Her
all right.
A lot of
taskbar
it-
is new. Leave her alone.
My taskbar is modern. But yeah, I gave Spirited, I think, 4 stars. Maggie, I swear to God. I gave Spirited 4 stars on Letterboxd, I think,
Out of 10.
out of 5. Highly recommend if
I
you
love
like
you, Lee.
musicals. And if this is Ryan Reynolds' musical debut, he absolutely knocks it out of the park.
Well, then maybe we'll get a musical number in Deadpool 3.
He's still my favorite theatrical Green Lantern.
I think he's like, my good friend Hugh does this. Maybe I'll see what the fuss is all about.
And Rebecca, I'll have you know, one of my favorite movies of all time is a musical, The Blues Brothers. Thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. What else did you see?
So last night I went to go see Glass Onion, a Ryan Johnson.
I want to
who's
see
done
that
it.
so much.
It's in theaters for a week, and then it comes out late December, I think. So Ryan Johnson has the gift of prophecy. Benoit Blanc is back. We got a whole new cast of characters. He is going to Greece to help solve a murder mystery that Edward Norton is putting on. Maggie? Sorry, my cat is trying to murder me.
Is that a mystery for Benoit Blanc as well?
I would love to get him in here. This Glass Onion is a lot of fun. It's not as good as Knives Out. I think Knives Out is kind of one of those movies where it was so one of a kind.
Just
Lightning in a bottle.
out of the blue.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
out of the blue. You can't really top it, but Glass Onion is a lot of fun.
Okay, that's all I need.
The whole time I was like trying to piece it together, like, okay, here's what I think happened. And the twists that happen, I absolutely did not expect. And I think Rian Johnson did a great job. But you'll see a lot of like comments about how Rian Johnson must have made and produced this movie within the last month, because there's a lot of relevant things that happen in the movie that there's no way he could have predicted, but they happened anyway. So I give that one, I think, also like 4 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd.
All right. Of course, Andor, Guardians of the Galaxy, we talked about that, but the little treasure I found this week on Netflix was Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
I heard about this. Is it good?
Addams Family TV series that without the Addams Family. But Wednesday, it's I'm in. I'm in.
Nice.
I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm going to stick with it. It's imagine like a murdery, scary Hogwarts, if you can, where all the weird kids go.
So Hogwarts.
Well, there's they're split up into groups in this one. There's the vampires, there's the werewolves, there's the snake people. There's and there are all these groups of outcasts that come to this school, Nevermore, to learn. To go to school because other schools won't have them. I mean, Wednesday at the beginning gets kicked out of her school because of an attempted murder.
Right? Doesn't she like try to like
It's the
drown
piranha
some
bit.
people or something?
It's the piranha in the pool.
Yeah, she drops piranhas into the pool.
Because nobody gets to pick on Pugsley but her.
Yeah.
So
I like the cast of the new Addams Family. They're not in it a lot, but boy, this Jenna Ortega as Wednesday.
Perfect.
Chef's kiss.
Well,
She's
and,
absolutely perfect.
I didn't know that. What's her face? That from Game of Thrones and Captain Phasma. She's in it.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Gwendolyn Christie. She's the
And-
head of the school. And
Well,
she's
and
got a
I read
secret.
this thing where she's like, "This is the first time I've ever felt beautiful on screen."
Aww.
Oh, she looks great.
Yeah.
They've got her in some amazing outfits, and she's just done up. Wow, she looks great. But of course, the true hero, as always, is Thing. This is a slightly different Thing. He's not just a perfect hand. It's like a Franken Thing. He's got scars. It looks like he's been put together from different parts of different hands.
I like that.
But he, of course, is the star of the show and the smartest person on the show. But I'm, like I said, I'm 3 in. I'm in. It's
How many
yes.
episodes?
I don't know, 10, 8 or 10.
Yeah, it's 8. And a friend of mine literally just finished it this morning. It was a 10 for 10 recommend. Real quick, I did leave 2 out, if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead.
I watched Inside Job again.
I love that show.
It's just it works. I don't know why I like it, but it's starting to work.
Funny. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
funny.
funny. And if you're looking for something to just like kind of just power, like I won't say power through, but like some of the writing, there's some misses on there, but you can't have everything. But it is entertaining. It is funny. And then I totally forgot to mention this. I finally saw Barbarian. Oh my God!
I meant to ask, did you guys watch Barbarian?
Yes,
Nope,
we did.
never
Not
will.
yet.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Don't.
One of my
Okay.
favorite movies of 2022.
I will tell you right now, if you're on the fence about watching Barbarian, don't watch any trailers. Do not watch a single trailer because it'll give away everything. But just go into it and just start watching, and then really enjoyed that. Yeah.
I just heard it's too scurry.
It's not.
I mean, it's scurry in a different way,
I do have video games, Carrie, real quick.
Oh, good. Let's do
Do you have
that
some
real
fake
quick.
ones?
And,
Yeah, there's no video games. Go outside and play. There you go.
there we go. Okay.
Touch grass,
Touch
not your
grass.
taskbar.
All right, Mr. B, if you
Touch
would.
grass.
All right,
y'all.
guys, we got a real situation here in the preserved meats business. We've got to have this ham sell in the top 3 to 4 percentages highest to ever make any money.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody on the YouTubes. You're amazing.
Touch
You're
grass,
the
y'all.
You're the wings beneath our wind.
Task ball.
Go watch Barbarian.
Touch grass, y'all. Not your task ball.